Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, Jon Caspian, and guess what? We're going to look over Conquest by Bellum. It's coming out in July, so July 5th is the release date. There's going to be a core set as well as some expansions that we can get, and I'm going to show some of the models that we were able to get at Gamma back in March. So we're going to show off a size comparison. So, easiest comparison to make is what does it look like next to a Guardsman. So typical Guardsman right here, that's my Valhallan Guardsman, so he can advance and still shoot. Of course he's a flamer, so we can do that anyway, but I do that so that they can all advance and shoot and keep moving. So that is a 28mm model compared to the 36mm. Now, I am still going to take the mold lines off before I do a paint stream about this guy, because they're large mold lines. But I wanted to give a little white spray on there just so you can see him better. The gray doesn't work so well on camera. So that is a Guardsman. And then next, we're going to show off a Space Marine. So this is one of these Space Marine heroes. So that is the size of a Space Marine hero compared to the crossbowman. So the crossbowman is about the average size of an infantry model. I think the Spire, who are kind of aliens, I guess, they're clone troopers and everything, those are maybe a little bit bigger, but they should be around the same size. So that is a Space Marine. Next up, a Primaris. We're going to go with a Reaver, painted almost entirely with contrast paints, except for the metal and the purple arm. That's my Sons of the Phoenix chapter. Of course, he's leaning over a little bit, so a fully standing Primaris. I'll show Brother Steve in a second here. He's about the same size if you include the shoulder packs. But shoulder to shoulder, yeah, let's try a fully standing Brother Steve. There you go. So that's not bad. Yeah, it's pretty close. I mean, obviously, that's a regular sized dude versus a 8-foot tall Primaris. But let's also switch genres. So let's pop over to Age of Sigmar and show off some of our more heroic scale stuff. So this is going to be one of the Stormcast Eternals. That is part of the, what is it? Stonehearts? You know what I mean? The one from Shadespire. So then that's the size. I would say it's still bulkier than the Sigmarine is, Stormcast. So yes, he is taller. Obviously, he's standing upright. But overall, it's just larger limbs, as you can see there. So that looks pretty good. Oh, I also have pictures right below here. So I can enlarge those if you'd like to see those of the overall scale of a battlefield. So that is a Stormcast. And then I went ahead and grabbed one of my ogres that I've been painting up for my Beast Claws. So this is part of the ogres. So then you can see that's where you're starting to get a similar size. So the Beast Claw Raiders and the ogres, now it's starting to look more like a proper comparison, I suppose, in terms of scale. So obviously, Age of Sigmar has scale all over the place. So this looks like a big bro along with a regular crossbowman. So I would say that that's a good comparison there. And then finally, Garrick's Reavers. So you can just see the difference there. Yeah, it's pretty big difference. Like, they overall take up the same amount of space, like, height-wise. It's just the fact that even with the bulkiness of something like Garrick, it still shows off how big the crossbowman is. So that's good. Now, let's go in a comparison to the 32mm. So we have a Fallout Wasteland Warfare model that I'm painting up. And that one is significantly different. So you can definitely tell 32mm versus the 36mm here. That is a huge difference. The only thing that might be comparable in terms of size would be the power armor. That's Gigabyte's power armor with red there. But even that is, that's a 6-foot plus model in-game is the power armor. And that's definitely, crossbowman's a lot bigger. And then finally, let's do a War Machine and Hordes model. So this is one of the, gosh, I can't remember the names of them. The dudes that are the Bile guys for Crix. I mean, that's just a massive difference in size. All right, that's good. Anything else here? Ah, yes, bolt action. So, not really a good comparison at all. That's like proper 28mm versus 36mm. Like, that's not heroic, they're 28 at all. That's huge. Look at that dude. He's like a mountain giant. All right, cool. And then a random Reaper Bones mini that I grabbed that I wanted to have a hillbilly for my Fallout Wasteland Warfare RPG campaign I'm going to do here. And that's just a regular 32mm model. So, yep, pretty big compared to that. Yeah, and then finally an Orc, which might... Yep, still huge. So even a bulky Orc is going to look kind of puny compared to this guy. So that is the infantry comparison. I can't think of any other types of sizes. Custodes might be an apt comparison. So there, I'm repainting good old Trajan, Valoris. So he's about the same size. So really, these are medieval Custodes. That's good. All right, so that's enough for infantry. Let's move on to the cavalry. So then the cavalryman here, I'm not even sure if he's going to fit on there. I'm going to have to zoom the camera out a little bit. That is so massive. Holy crap. It's huge. Well, I was going to compare it to the jet bike. Let me move it down and back. Yep. So I would honestly say he's about the same size as a jet bike, but let me move the camera here just because that'll be a little bit better of a comparison. So give me one moment. Move this over and out. There you go. That's the one. Perfect. Look at that. It's a massive model. Huge. So that is on its hind legs there, and that is the Custodes jet bike painting up. So as you can see, it's huge. And now I don't have any other type vehicles that I could compare it to, but overall that is, considering the hooves are on the ground, that's a pretty big model there. Now, the starter set, which is the core set that you can get, will come with 24 men-at-arms, which are the same size as these crossbowmen. Then you also get 12 crossbowmen, 3 cavalry, and I believe some sort of commander. I was trying to find where the commander was in this set. Then you have the Spire, which is like the aliens who they're kind of refugees, and some of them, they're like an alien race that came down and they have advanced technology and stuff, so they're using clones and whatnot. And they come with 24 of their clone warriors, as well as some of their bowmen, which look really cool. It's like longbows. Then they have something called a Pharaohmancer, who I guess controls the clones. And then 3 brute drones. And brute drones are just these big, bulky guys. So that's the starter core set, and that's a lot of models. That's like... Oh, and a huge monster. The monster is massive. It's that big, that tall maybe. So compared to this little dude here, it's huge. And you can see some of the pictures there that I have in the bottom. Let's go ahead and make those bigger if we can. Make sure I grab the right thing. There we go. Enlarging. Bam, there we go. So that's a regular drone. And you see that it's those big guys here. These guys in the bottom. They're massive. So one of those comes with a core set. You can also buy those big guys separately. Then you can also get separate packs of the men-at-arms as well as the different drone models. So they said that I've watched a couple of things on the On Tabletop channel, and they said that you can play a starter game with the core set very easily because you have a full unit of the men-at-arms, a full unit of crossbows, full unit of cavalry. Yeah, so it's going to be released July 5th, and that's the size comparison that I have for y'all. Any other questions, let me know in the comments. I'll answer once the stream is over. I'll answer those by replying to them. If you want to pre-order, please message us. Reply to this comment thread what you would like, a core set, expansions, whatever you want, and just let us know. Thanks, y'all. I'm Jon Caspian. I look forward to seeing y'all play some games of Conquest. Ciao.